Pediatrician Natalie Digate Muth says that's mistake number one.
So a kid learns that that's a power struggle that they can have and they can win if they just say, no, I'm not going to, and it becomes a battle of the wills.
Dr. Muth says pushing food can have the opposite effect. Instead, give kids healthy choices, make it fun, but be patient. It might take 20 tries before a child accepts it.
So you've got to be a little creative in helping to develop ways that makes them interested or willing to want to try it.
In their new book, Eat Your Vegetables and Other Mistakes Parents Make, Drs. Digate Muth and Mary Tanaka offer creative meal suggestions. Also, experts say, don't use junk food as a reward for good behavior.
When they're older, when they're adults, they turn to those foods to feel good again. And so we set up emotional eating.
The authors also advise parents, don't make separate meals for picky eaters. It's okay to let them go to bed hungry. In the end, it's all about creating a less stressful mealtime.
And just let things fall into place. And to don't feel so pressured to say, eat your vegetables, but just make sure that there's a few vegetables on their plate.
So which is better, white meat with no skin, dark meat with skin?
So I bet most Americans could probably answer this one correctly. So white meat with no skin is definitely your better choice when you're choosing what kind of meat you want to eat at Thanksgiving. You get about 180 calories or so in a 6-ounce piece of white meat, whereas with a 6-ounce piece of the dark meat, you're going to get about double that, 320 or so. So you're definitely better off choosing the white meat, no skin.
I have to ask on the casserole, because it is one of my favorites. I see 130 calories, 7 grams of fat. Can you do this, and will it still taste as good if you do like a low-fat soup, and on top of that, you're also eliminating that crunchy stuff at the top? I mean, are there ways to modify the casserole to make it a lot less?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. There are always ways to modify your favorite dishes to make it, to lessen the calories and have it still taste pretty good. So if you want to go with a low-fat cream soup, maybe skip on the fried onions, you can do your green bean casserole and cut probably half of the calories out.
The first thing families should think about is planning ahead. So this goes for the kids as well as the adults in the house. Know that Halloween is coming, you're going to eat some candy, so try to eat a little bit healthier maybe the days, weeks before Halloween. Try to get in all the healthy stuff so that you have a little bit of room too for indulging a little bit on the candy that's destined to make its way into the house.
You would think if you're going to eat, you know, chicken with fat and eggs and all that stuff, it may not be that good for you.
Well, there's a few ways that you can make the things a little bit healthier, and some of them you might have thought weren't that healthy are actually not so bad. Now, one thing you do want to be careful of, though, is the sodium. So any kind of time you get canned vegetables, there's going to be a lot of sodium. And this particular brand is a low-sodium cream corn, so it's got even less sodium than the regular canned stuff.
So it's not necessarily the cream that you have to watch out for, but you got to look the back of the can, look at the sodium content.
Exactly. Anytime that you're buying any canned vegetables, you want canned anything really, you want to look at the sodium content. But as far as the fat and calories go ahead and eat the creamed corn because it's just as good for you as the regular corn.
Now, you're with the American Council of Exercise, and you're a registered dietitian.
Yes.
You're in your last year of medical school, too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
What else? You have a whole bunch of letters behind your name. What else is it that you do?
Master's in public health, so I've had a couple of years in training in public health, too.
Okay, you know what? It is a natural instinct. I don't know why. I don't have evidence to support my claim, but I just stay away from those 100-calorie pack things. I mean, it just seems full of hot air to me, and I don't know why. What are your thoughts on those?
Well, on the surface, you'd think that they'd be good, because portion control is important, especially given the problem of obesity in this country, and people have a difficult time controlling their portion sizes.
Yeah.
So these snacks were in response to that.
You know, what is emotional eating? What is that? I mean, is it a disease? What is obesity? Is it a disease?
At the end of the day, it's all about calories, and the calories that you take in and the calories that you expend with exercise.
Period.
Really, yeah. And so the emotional eating is people eating for reasons other than being hungry. And there's some research that suggests that as young as 3 years old, we learn to eat for as a reward when our parents give us ice cream after winning the baseball game, and we eat when we're stressed, and we eat when we're bored, and we eat when we're socializing. So we eat for a lot of reasons other than
being hungry.
Yeah, it's really about having a plan and being able to stick with a plan. And for example, some people, if they start eating sugary, snacky foods, they can't stop.
Yeah.
And so in those cases, it might be better to just not even start in the first place.
Yeah.